All right. Hey everyone. It's 12:30. Gonna be a woman of my word and keep to our time constraints here and just start at 12:30. I said I'm gonna start at 12:30. Listen, if you missed it today, hopefully next week you'll be able to get in and get this information. I'm just thrilled to share this. It does feel like a culmination of my experience, but I talked about that last time. So we're going to jump right in to talking about your audience. Now, quickly, if you haven't gotten this roadmap, you can download it for free at braincamp.loganpr.com/roadmap. And that's important because then you get the PDF and you can walk through all of this stuff deliberately, which is key. It's important to be deliberate about your brand. It's essential to be deliberate about your brand. But let's jump in to talking. So the 12-week roadmap, I went through the first 4 weeks in our first session, and I'm going to talk a little bit today. It's only 30 minutes, so I'm going to talk today about the benefit of understanding your audience, which is so very, very critical. So you're doing a lot of brand discovery and research at the beginning, right? Which makes sense, right? You want to do all your research and you want to continue to do your research. But a part of your brand discovery research is also around your customer. You'll notice we talk a lot about your customer and getting to know that customer, getting to know that audience, where your customer is. It's so very important for your business and for your brand. Let me get to week 3. We went through week 4. So we're going to start here at going through your social media strategy and management. So, in terms of thinking about your audience, just standing back before we jump into social media strategy and management, talking about your audience and where your audience is critical. It's so important. Think about I'll think about a quick business example. So one of my clients is a pharmacy, and one of the audiences that they are meaningfully reaching out to are doctors and practitioners, care teams that write prescriptions because they fill those prescriptions. So their doctor outreach is very different from their customer outreach, right? We cater the communications to that audience. We also find where that audience is active. Now, that leads us to social media. Finding your audience leads us to social media. I know that it is such a tempting thing to think that you're going to join the social platforms and share information about your business, and everybody is just going to clamor to it. But the truth is that you have to work to find your audience on those platforms and engage them so that they see your messaging and can make that decision to follow you based on their interests. So, knowing your audience, just critical. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to say, hey, if you have any questions, I'm just going to check very quickly for questions to see what questions might have already come in about engaging your audience. Okay, here we go. Deeply exploring your audience. Okay, that's great. Listen, it's great that you're deeply exploring your audience and you want to understand. Okay. So the question is, talk a little bit about some of the pain points that you run into when talk about your audience's pain points and needs and how to position your brand. Listen, there are so many more complaints than there are praises, right? So it's a really good thing to understand your customers' pain points, especially the pain points that your product or service alleviates, right? Take, for example, Brand Camp, right? Brand Camp is for small businesses and entrepreneurs that really want to monetize and get value from their brand, but don't have all of the tools and means to do so right now. Yet enter Brand Camp Solution. So when you're thinking about pain points, it's because your product is a solution to those pain points. Your audience is going to be excited about this product that you're bringing because it's solving a problem. So you have to let them know the problem that you're solving. That's a good question. I mean, I think that it's important to be thoughtful, not too academic on it for small businesses, but it is important to be thoughtful about that. Now, audience personas, this is something that I think is so critical. Your audience personas are going to help you tremendously. So you want to build them out. Say you are a plumbing company. I'm just thinking of clients and examples off the top. But say you're a plumbing company and you have corporate clients as well as residential clients. So you could do a persona, right? For your residential clients, that's Annie. And Annie is a 53-year-old homeowner. She has owned her home for the past 15 years. She just got a new roof last year, and she's accustomed to calling plumbers when she has a problem. But this plumbing company has this new solution where it's a monthly membership and you can call them as many times as you want. So he wants to target Annie, right? So thinking about, was her name Annie, you all? Anyway, thinking about what she's thinking about, right? Putting yourself in her position, thinking about her pain points and thinking about what would make your product interesting to Annie. Is it naturally interesting to her? Is there something more? What's the value proposition for Annie? What does she get, by engaging with your company? Those are things you should think about. So when you even start thinking about the personas, that's why I say you have to be deliberate. It's not that you have to be a rocket scientist. It's that you have to think through the path for your customers and start to think through your audience, think through those segments and look at them as individuals. That's what the personas allow you to do is get in deep and look at that individual, look at what's motivating them, understand what's frustrating them, and then understand how to pitch your solution. So it's really, really important to do that and make sure that you are being intentional about your audiences. So you have the one residential customer, Annie, right? Now let's go into you might have a whole nother set of customers that are enterprise customers. And those are companies that employ you to come and maintain their plumbing systems. And it might be in your strategy to build that out because it's a more profitable segment than the retail. And that's where your strategy and everything ties together. But we're talking about audiences. So let's focus in on that business audience, that business to business customer. And we'll say we have Henry over here, and Henry works for Panera, and Panera hires you to come in and manage their plumbing systems, and they call you when there's a problem. So the way that they call you is going to be different. The problems that those different customer segments have are going to be different. And at this part, you can really give it space, give it thought, really think about how Annie's issues may be different than what was his name? Henry's issues over here, and how you can address those issues with your product. But then think about who you're talking to in your narration. If you say, hey, we're so excited about this work that we're doing, and you're say on social and you're posting, right? You're posting for an audience. Maybe you're posting for Annie's audience. You've been posting for that for that home audience, for your homeowners, and you've been posting all your content for homeowners. But in your strategy document, it says that you want to be more intentional about reaching out to your enterprise customers. Well, then you can address that in your social and how you're developing your content for social media because you can see you're omitting a whole audience segment, and that is not going to be to your benefit. So, focusing in on your audiences is critical. I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to keep going through here. In week 5, we're talking social media strategy and management. The folks who are participating in Brand Camp with us as an agency, they're going to go identify those social media platforms that work and are ideal for them. Now, I know you're tempted to get on everything, especially new businesses. There are so many new businesses popping up daily. There are new businesses entering so many markets. And so, really, the temptation there is to jump on every platform, right? And we'll jump across every platform. Peanut butter all out there. Jump on every platform and we'll see what works. We'll see what audience engages. The audience that's going to engage, I think, will be the audience that you are most engaged with. So if you don't exist on the social media platforms, it's good for you to create a profile, kind of learn and see how it goes. Don't be intimidated by it, right? This is learning and unlearning. We have to learn things, and learning these social media platforms is essential. And I say, get on, create a personal profile and bump your head, walk into walls, post crazy things. It's fine. The internet is not like it was 15, 20 years ago where you post something and everything is over. I mean, it's always wise to be mindful about your posts, but it's great to get on a platform, lose the anxiety about it, get on the platform and engage. And I have clients that are now jumping into Instagram, jumping into TikTok, blessings, but jumping into platforms and learning how they work and kind of bumbling through. It's okay. Even if you did it on your company profile, it's like when you start your company profile, you have 0 followers. What's the consequence of getting on there and trying to shoot a video? If you fail, you can delete it or you cannot post it. But I say jump out there. But identifying your platforms is critical. Setting goals is critical. Don't just be out there talking on social. I mean, you can. If you don't have other things to do, that might be more important. But have a plan and have some goals set around how you want to engage on social and what your expectations are for your business as you engage on social. Do you expect this to help your business grow? Do you expect that if you do these go lives, you're going to see more customers? Well, you should be intentional about that. You should be mapping that out and being thoughtful about how you plan for it. Next, a social media content calendar. Whew. I'm going to share my screen and show you all this social media content calendar idea. It's so powerful with the AI writers, the way that you can go in and create your content calendar. That's why it used to be even 3, 4 years ago, clients would come on. I want to talk to everybody on every platform. I want to post every day because that's going to help me sell 50 books. Hold on. Let's set it up and let's set up a calendar and a plan and let's develop engaging content for that audience. If we know the audience, we know what they're struggling with, we know how to reach them, right? We can really create engaging content. They're going to tell you if they click on it or not, if they engage with it, how long they engage with it, they are going to tell you. And you're going to have your metrics set up so that you can measure your engagement and adjust. It's not rocket science, it's intentional branding. Week 6, we get into paid advertising and online marketing. Listen, if you don't want, and I understand, If you don't want to advertise online and you're a business, I think that when you start talking organically, you should have some budget for advertising on the social media platforms. The social media platforms are not here to make your business famous. Is this mic on? Is this oh, it's over here. Is this mic on? The social media platforms are not in existence to make your business popular. They are not. They are not. Listen, the social media platform is in business to make money, and they make money from their advertising revenue. When you advertise on their platform, they will show your business to more people than are normally exposed to your organic posts. So if you're doing all of this work to post on social media every day and you're going to your AI writer and you're getting all of these posts, you could do it. I could create a year of content for you in an AI writer in 5 minutes. My question is, so what? That doesn't mean that it's optimized. It doesn't mean that it's going to work. It means that you have a draft. You have a draft, and you can work through and hone that draft and act on that, right? Execute on your plan and then measure. But to me, maybe this is just my opinion, but it's my opinion and it's fine. You're watching, so you care about my opinion, right? If you don't have the money to advertise on social, to advertise your business on social, then maybe you should just be investing a couple of posts a week. If you post every day, that doesn't mean everybody's going to see it. There's an algorithm, they have a whole plan for how your visibility is um, negotiated, right? For how much visibility you get on the platform and how little. And they will tell you with the advertising, when you do that advertising, they'll tell you, hey, you gave us 50 bucks. We sent this many people to your website. You gave us this amount. This was what you got in return. And some of that work at the beginning, even at the beginning, when you do your advertising, some of that work is like a skin in the game. It's like you're creating awareness. When I was running a brand business online, there was never a day that I didn't have ads running. And that was some time ago. It was some time ago. And always on ad campaign. You're always on, you're always looking for the way to reach that customer. For me, it was a particular brand enthusiast. For you, it's your ideal customer. It's the customer you're going after. Maybe the customer that is more profitable than some of your other customer segments. And you've taken the time to understand that. So now you can go get them, right? Target that audience and really work to have visibility there because you know that's what's going to make a difference for your business. Okay, I know I started going on advertising and online marketing, but there's a lot there. Your content strategy and your calendar. You can win on content. You can win on content, even with a lean budget. If you're out there telling everybody about your business on Instagram, you're out there direct messaging everybody, you're out there adding followers, you're out there following and commenting on other stuff, you're a part of that, you're going to see it start to move. But you have to be intentional here with your content strategy, and your content calendar. I think I am. In these last couple of minutes, I'm going to share my screen instead of this presentation. And hey, all right. So I'm going to pull up ChatGPT just to show you all because I feel like people think this is hard, but it's not hard to create content. I can go right in here into a prompt and say, um, create a content strategy for my business to communicate online, right? Um, what kind of business? Did anybody in the comments have a type of business? If you have a type of business, shout it out and I'll put your business in here. I don't see any questions. Okay, so create a content strategy for my business to communicate online. I am a florist and would like to target women who want to have a beautiful arrangement sent to them weekly. This is a subscription. I'm just making this up off the fly. This is a subscription model. Right? So you could create the content and it's just going to start spitting it out. And then you can modify that. You can say, oh, I'd like to do this. Oh, change my phone number to this. Oh, incorporate this. And the power of this is that now what you can do is you can ask it to go look around. You can say, I'm in Maryland. Look at the top florists here and see what their content strategies are. What am I missing? And it's going to go search the internet to tell you. And so it's easy to create a content calendar. I could say, create the content calendar for October and put it in a table. I have my clients review theirs in a table, and it's going to put it in a table. So maybe not as fast as I thought it would. But you see, it reviewed those strategies, it spit it right out. And now it's going to create the content calendar for October. Mhm. So, content creation, right? You have to create the post and then you have to edit the post. You have to make sure they are strategically sound and tied into your strategy. This is important so that it's producing the results. But you see right here, that was just there's a whole month of content here. You can think about how often you post, right? But this is it's it changes everything. It changes everything. So let's go back to the Brain Camp deck. Your content strategy and your content calendar, you can create those using an AI writer, and then you have to edit those. Don't just create it and go. No, no. Because just like AI can help you make you look great, it can also make you look very foolish very fast. So just plan it out, be intentional about that content. And the last week, oh, this is not, there are 6 minutes left. Okay. I'm going to pick up next time talking about your website audit and optimization. I don't know how many of you know, but I'm a developer. It was one of the, I went to school for a million things, and it was one of the things that I studied in depth is websites. So I'm a website developer as well. And I use that skill set when we're doing the website audit and optimization. I think it is very important. So next week, I'm just going to talk about the website audit and optimization. Ah, oh, we got a question and I see it. Okay, it's from LinkedIn. All right. Yuri. Hi, Yuri. How do you ensure that your cadence of posting makes sense? Oh, thank you for asking this question because it does matter. And you don't have to set yourself on the treadmill on the fastest running speed, right? It's like, hey, if you're just getting up and running, I think it's good to schedule, maybe 3 to 5 posts a week. And they don't have to all be heavy, deep thought leadership posts. You could do a quote post one day. You could do a photo post one day and just, explain a little bit about the photo. And you could do a product shot. So you can space it out. But really, when you think about the cadence, you want to, and what I do with my clients is we set a cadence for a month. We say, this is how we're going to communicate. We're going to do maybe 3 posts on LinkedIn, 5 posts on Facebook, whatever we map out, we do it. And then we look at the engagement. We look at the engagement. Everything is an experiment. So when you are tuned in and looking for how your content is engaging folks, it'll tell you if you need to slow down a little bit. If you're not seeing real pickup, you might need to do things like comment, right? To draw people in to the conversation a little bit and focus on deepening those posts. Some of those posts, instead of posting every day, you could take some of those posts and post them to groups that you're active in, right? So it's another idea. But your cadence should really be what your audience wants it to be, right? You should really find a cadence that fits with your audience. Now, audience input is one thing, but I also think about it, my mind is always in music. I think about your cadence as your beat, right? And so if you come on and your brand is talking every day, well, then people are going to start getting used to you being the brand that talks every day. And the people who are sincerely interested in your content, they're going to follow and they're going to engage more. The people who aren't, right? They're not going to engage more. You might even get some unfollows because you're posting so rapidly and they don't want to hear from you that much. So it's about getting your cadence down, determining your cadence, and then checking it against your audience. But that was a great question. And the reason I'm not going to go overboard on time because I want to be respectful of you guys' time and I want to end on time. These are meant to be quick half hours where we can talk about your brand. I can hopefully give you some nuggets to help you move forward in your entrepreneurship journey. It's not for the faint of heart, okay? But you can do this. And if there are skills that you need to build in order to do this, in order to make your brand successful and profitable, you can build those skills. So go and download your Brand Camp Roadmap. I'll be back on next week to talk a little bit. We're going to talk the whole session next week about the website, about your website. So come with your questions and I will see you all in a week. All right. Be well.